Hey there, it's Tom Ryan, founder and CEO of ICR. Before we get into the next episode, I wanted to ask that you subscribe to the show. It'll help us get even more unique and interesting guests on the podcast and in turn continue to educate management teams and the growing ecosystem that creates value for fast-growing private and public companies. And while you're at it, head over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star rating. Very much appreciated.
The energy drink has had so many entries over the years. And so when this opportunity presented itself, quite honestly, it was like, okay, what is this? And then I started listening and hearing about the healthfulness of the product, how the gap in the marketplace. And it clearly was like, okay, that's interesting. That's really different.
How do you build a brand that stands out in a crowded marketplace? You innovate, you differentiate, and you use any marketing advantage that you might have.
That collective team, came together with this vision of putting ZOA together, and they've done an amazing job. But you mentioned their reach and their global reach. Collectively, they have almost 500 million followers worldwide.
Being a public company can be hard. Small missteps can have outsized consequences. I'm Tom Ryan, founder and CEO of ICR, and over the last 20 years, we've helped thousands of companies understand and navigate the stock market and the media. We'll demystify these and other increasingly complex stakeholder groups so you can focus on what you do best, building your company, and unlocking your true potential. This is Welcome to the Arena. If you're going to jump into the highly competitive beverage market with a new brand, you better have a great team behind you. And that's exactly what today's guest has. In this episode, we're sitting down with Mike Pengue, who has been CEO of ZOA Energy since its launch in March of 2021. Prior to ZOA, Mike was the Senior Vice President and General Manager for the Emerging Brands Group at Keurig Dr. Pepper. And he came to Keurig Dr. Pepper from Bai Brands, where he was Chief Strategy Officer and was instrumental in the $1.65 billion sale to Dr. Pepper Snapple. Mike also spent 20 years at Nestle Waters North America in a variety of positions. His last role there was Executive Vice President, leading the $5 billion brand portfolio that included Perrier Pellegrino, Nestle's Pure Life, Poland Springs, Ozarka, and Deer Park, among others. Mike joined me to share the story of ZOA Energy and the amazing founders he's working with. We also discuss why this new drink is standing out from the pack and growing at breakneck speed. Let's enter the arena with Mike Pengue.
There's a major gap in energy kind of underneath this umbrella of healthfulness and healthy energy. And ZOA was developed, and we'll talk about our founders, Dwayne Johnson, Danny Garcia, John Schulman in a moment, but they saw that gap in the marketplace, and especially the lifestyle that our founders lead, that there was an opportunity to really launch something that had the things that they were looking for, something that was, low in calories, something that had branched chain amino acids, a variety of B vitamins. It was launched in the midst of COVID. So, immunity, an immunity package with vitamin C, among other things, natural caffeine coming from green coffee and green tea. Those are all the kind of the underpinnings of what ZOA is all about. And it has hit the market in a way kind of perfectly with what the consumer is looking for.
You mentioned it briefly, but obviously Dwayne Johnson is a face, if not the face of the brand. But maybe talk about the other founders and also their collective reach into social media is so unique and amazing. And hang on one second, Mike, because I got to do this. I'm ready. I'm ready to roll. I've got the pre-energy workout, Blackberry. I'm pumped up. But talk a little bit about the founders and kind of their reach. And it's just like, it's an amazing group.
Yeah. They are an amazing group, and they are truly founders. Okay. I've worked with celebrity people that endorse a brand in my past, and this is a completely different experience with clearly Dwayne, but Dani Garcia is absolutely amazing in her own right. The chairwoman of the emerging XFL, by the way, Dave Ramsey, her husband, he is the fitness guru for Dwayne Johnson himself. And then there's John Schulman, the principal manager of Juggernaut Capital Partners. And so that collective team, came together with this vision of putting ZOA together. And they've done an amazing job, each of them bringing so much to the party. But you mentioned their reach and their global reach. Collectively, they have almost 500 million followers. DJ alone has got 350 million in Instagram alone. So, it's just such a powerful force that we work with, and they work the brand. I mean, they are truly involved in the brand on just about a daily basis, on every aspect of the brand. So they don't, manage from afar. They know all the ingredients. We taste every single new flavor. I mean, so they are intimately involved in all things ZOA.
How did the opportunity come to you? What did you see in it based on your, 20 plus years in the industry that you felt, wow, we could really make this thing into something special?
Well, I think fortunate enough in my career, I've been basically in beverage for too many years, right? Going on 25, 30 years. And, you see a lot of brands come and go. You see the underpinnings of what can bring success. And listen, the energy drink has had so many entries over the years. And there's definitely more that aren't here any longer than that are here. And so when this opportunity presented itself, quite honestly, it was like, okay, what is this? Is this just another Me Too of what's in the marketplace? And then I started listening and hearing about what this is all about the healthfulness of the product, how the gap in the marketplace, what the ingredients are the efficacy of what is in the product. It clearly was like, okay, that's interesting. That's really different. And then there's the name ZOA itself, which is, wow, that's very cool. And then it was, okay, well, how are you going to market? Okay, because that's a big deal. Like, okay, well, who's your partner? And then it was like, well, we're talking with Molson Coors, and they're going to come on as our national partner. Like, okay, wow, that's something different. Okay, that's huge. And then finally, it was the founders that we just talked about. And when you finally hear about Dave Ramsey and John Schulman and Dani Garcia, and then obviously Dwayne Johnson and their vision for the brand and their involvement in the brand, it was really those three things: the product, our distribution capability, and then our founders.
It's awesome. How are people supposed to connect with this? Like ZOA, the name is amazing, as you mentioned. What's the brand connection there?
The underpinnings is, not just about energy, okay, but positive energy. What ZOA can do for you to bring about a great feeling. And the product itself truly does that. Not just, okay, we got natural caffeine from green tea and Greek coffee, which it is a great delivery mechanism, by the way, but the B vitamins, the B12, the B6, these B vitamins just give you just a general, man, I feel just really good, versus traditional energy, you kind of get that boom splat. Like, okay, I just sucked down an energy drink. The underpinnings of the traditional energy kind of have this aura of being unhealthy. This is not us, our aura is healthfulness. It's clean, and it is that overall feeling of positive energy. And what comes back from consumers, Tom, all the time is that positive feeling. I just feel good when I drink it. I feel very, very positive. And so that was very much in the recipe of what ZOA is, the ingredients, how it tastes, how it makes you feel, and it comes through in the actual product. And so that's what it's all about, and it's really resonating with consumers in a big way.
Yeah, you can tell it's kind of like honesty, authenticity, but then this kind of natural vibe. It's really cool. Talk about like the category that you're playing in, like how fast is it growing? Obviously, there's a market share battle, but I think you're kind of growing the market, right?
Yeah, this category overall has just been, tremendous. I mean, it's amazing that Red Bull's been around for 25 years. We still kind of think of energy as an up and coming category, and it is still up and coming. And the category is broken up into kind of this more traditional energy, the Monsters, the Red Bulls of the world, and then this healthful side of it. The overall category is growing 12% this year. I would say year to date, but it's December. Okay, so it's going to be a solid 12% growth on a category that's $17 billion. So it's a sizable category growing in that double digit range, which is tremendous. But when you dissect the layer below that, traditional is still growing. So that's in that 5 to 7% growth range, which is huge in a category that big. But the real exponential growth is coming from this healthy energy, which is growing at 200%. And so the beginning of the year, healthy energy represented only about 3% of total energy of that $17 billion. We're going to end the year at 10% of the total category, and we expect it in 2 years to be 30%. So it's driving 66% of the total energy growth. And you touched upon it. It's not stealing share. Our objective isn't to steal share from Red Bull or Monster. Our customers don't want. Walmart doesn't want us to steal share from them. None of our customers want. They want us to bring in new users. And there are so many consumers that have been sitting on the sidelines thinking, kind of having, unfortunately, the perception that, energy drinks have this unhealthy quality about them. This is opening up the door of, no, you can have a product that is good for you, that has got B vitamins and antioxidants and natural caffeine, zero sugar. So you have these male consumers that were on the sidelines, and mainly female consumers. Women who have never been part of the category are coming into the category, and that's what's driving a lot of that top line. ZOA alone has brought in 1.7 million new households to the category this year. So just since our introduction, with the power of our founders, with the efficacy and the taste of our product, we got new people that partake in the category that are now using it, core heavy loyals to the ZOA brand.
When I think about Dwayne Johnson, I'm thinking about he's going to have one of these before and after he works out. But for the average person, you can see this as a substitute for coffee or even water. So it just seems like your total addressable market, it's much bigger than what might meet the eye, right?
Very, very much so. Yeah, it does check a lot of boxes. To your point, you've got your electrolytes in there from a hydration standpoint. You've got your vitamins, your branched chain amino acids, and obviously some natural energy. So it does, and that's that expandable market, exactly like you said, Tom. And again, our customers are seeing that. They're seeing that in this growing healthy energy segment. So another important point is the household penetration. So energy, even though it's been around, as we mentioned before, for a while, the household penetration is only 33%. So out of the addressable market of 100% of consumers in the United States, only 33% of households actually engage in the category. Now, it's up 3 percentage points just this year. So you look at a $17 billion segment at only 33% household penetration. That's bigger than isotonics, bigger than Gatorade. That's only a $10 billion segment. It's bigger than juices. Bottled water has got a 92% household penetration, and it's $23 billion. Okay, a little bit bigger than energy, but it's 92% household penetration. So, you look at the upside opportunity driven by, healthy energy, and it's a very, very exciting space.
Yeah. Well, listen, from here, it's all about execution and building the team. But what blew my mind is, you started about a year and a half ago, and, here you are, and whatever numbers you're comfortable sharing, just to give people an idea of kind of where you are right now.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a rocket ship, in a very, very fun way. We started last year, just last May, launching on Amazon and launching throughout the Molson network, growing our ACV, growing our distribution in the Walmarts of the world and 7-Eleven and Publix and GNC. And we continue. We're gaining C-store distribution, and all that has been fantastic. Costco has been a great partner of ours. But overall, we'll finish this year, over $80 million in gross revenue. And collectively, since our start, we'll be, over $120 million million so far. So, we're really doing quite well in a diversity of channels. We are the fastest growing retail brand to reach $50 million in retail. And that doesn't account for our Amazon business or our Costco business, so those are unmeasured channels that are not part of those numbers. So, and the thing is, Tom, it's, as much as it's been a great start, it's just a start. It's very exciting looking at the opportunities in front of us, but also looking at, hey, we're off to a very, very good start. And, it's all about, you can get trial. Anybody with a lot of money can buy trial, okay? But if the consumer's not going to repeat, you got nothing. So it doesn't matter unless they come back. And our repeat numbers are fantastic. The loyalty that we've earned already on Amazon, the star ratings that we have on Amazon, the consumers coming back into the Costco business, and all of our customers seeking out ZOA and repeating on it has been very, very strong.
Given ZOA's celebrity founders and their followers, there's already some hefty marketing firepower built into the company. But with their big campaigns around the Super Bowl and the Olympics, I wanted to know how Mike and the team prioritize their marketing dollars.
We're not resting on the power of our founders and as strong as they are and being able to get a great ZOA message out there. It is still about building brand awareness, and we have been fortunate to be on not just the Olympics, but summer and winter Olympics, that last year we're right next to each other because of COVID. We were also on the pregame of the Super Bowl this year. So those are big events. We are also just coming off of a partnership with Black Adam, Dwayne Johnson's movie that has had worldwide success, and we had specialty cans on Black Adam. And so, from a marketing standpoint, we've leaned in a very big way, being able to do things, quite honestly, not many brands in their infancy as they're just starting out are on the Olympics, or on the Super Bowl. So those things are, we don't take those lightly, and we've been very fortunate, but we're not done. We've got great equity that's going into next year. We've got new influencers that are going to be talking about the brand. We've got a specific new marketing campaign that's going to be coming out next year. We got new flavors that we're going to be launching, so we've got a lot of really exciting stuff coming up in 2023 as well.
What is the potential from kind of where you are now into different extensions and flavors and things like that? Because the product that I've seen seems super varied, and I saw a bunch of different sizes. And where can you go from here?
Yeah, well, a couple learnings, and like any startup, you're going to have your learnings. And one of the learnings is that our consumers were looking for fruit-forward flavors. Not easy to say. And so we launched White Peach, which I'm enjoying right now, and Tropical Punch in January as a line extension in our zero sugar line. And they quickly became our number one and number two flavors. So blew it out of the water. We did a limited edition in August on Amazon, a cherry limeade. And we thought we would have roughly about 2.5-3 months worth of inventory. In 3 weeks, it was sold out. It was gone. And so, we're leaning more into just this very robust, very fruit-forward flavors. Cherry limeade was such a huge success, and we've got a couple other new flavors that are going to be launching in January as well. And so these new flavors are really rock stars right now. And as we continue to bring in new users, they're looking for increased flavor proliferation and try new things, which has been great. As far as sizes, so a peek underneath the tent on when we launched in a 16-ounce container. In full transparency, it's not the container we wanted to launch in. We wanted to launch in a 12-ounce. But the marketplace didn't have any inventory. Can production had been maxed, with the Spike Seltzers of the world and the Trulies and White Claws.
Oh my God!
Had eaten up any 12-ounce can in the marketplace. So we secured 16-ounce, but we wanted to launch. We didn't want to wait until we had the ability to buy a 12-ounce can. So we launched in 16-ounce. And 16-ounce did very, very well. And we've seen great success. But in the time that we've launched 16-ounce, the marketplace has freed up on 12-ounce. We have got a great relationship with Ball Container right now, an exclusive supplier of ours. And so we've launched 12-ounce in Costco. So Costco has got our 12-ounce container, and we are launching throughout the Molson network, the 12-ounce container. And what we're finding is that it's a very approachable size for both men and women. You know, the 16-ounce is just that. It's just a bigger vessel. You know, it's a lot. From a guy's standpoint, 12-ounce is perfect. And from a female standpoint, it's also a more approachable size as well. So it opens up the door just a little bit wider, especially in this healthy energy space, to bring in more consumers. And so we're still going to have the 16-ounce. So we're not walking away from that. But this just increases our portfolio and our offering to include a 12-ounce size as well.
Yeah, I'm halfway through the pre-workout energy supplement, the Blackberry, and I love the packaging and the size and kind of the sleekness of the can. It's a great look and a great packaging, I think.
That was our first full-on line extension off of base ZOA. And so ZOA Plus is exactly what you said, Tom. It's a pre-workout. It has got an increased level of branched chain amino acids. It's got a plethora of vitamins and nutrients. It's got nitric oxide to increase blood flow from a pre-workout standpoint. It's got a higher level of caffeine. It's got 200 milligrams of natural caffeine. It was completely designed by Dave Ramsey, one of our founders, professional bodybuilder, health coach, and we launched it on Amazon and exclusive at GNC. And it is doing very, very well. We got 3 flavors and potentially a new flavor coming out next year in ZOA Plus as well.
Well, it tastes great. And I'll tell you what, if a half marathon breaks out right now, I'm ready to go. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling the positive energy.
It works. It really does. It works.
So you talked about like any brand when it gets started, there's adjustments around the edges that you have to make with product and distribution and everything. What are kind of the couple of challenges that you're addressing right now?
Well, I think the first challenge for any leader is to first surround yourself with great people. Okay. And I've got a great team. They make me look good every single day. And that team has been able to have the agility that a small upstart company needs. And every company needs agility. Coming from a Nestle, a big company, yeah, you're agile, but when you're in something like this, it's very different. And you have to have that mental mindset, and you have to surround your people that have got show up every single day, and they don't know what the definition of no or it can't be done. It always can be done. And we've done that. I mentioned cans before, we didn't have any cans, we have a product and okay, how do we do this, and we were able to do that and be able to secure cans and be able to secure a partnership in the largest can manufacturer in the world. I mean, in a relatively short period of time. New flavors that are an idea today that can be on Amazon inside, 2 months, to launch. We have a new visual ID that is coming out in January. Well, we started working on that just a month and a half ago, and you change your whole lineup. So you have to be agile and in all aspects of the business. And you got to, again, it's all about the team and the can-do attitude. And our founders are right there with you. So everything goes through them, so they're available to, hey, we got new flavors, we got to taste this at Friday at 6:00, can you be available? Yeah, I can be available. Whatever it may be, the whole enterprise has to be agile. And that's what's really helped on being able to do what we've done in a relatively short period of time.
How about growth internationally? What kind of infrastructure and distribution does it take to kind of get to the international opportunity, or are you already there? Because obviously there's a massive addressable market around the world other than right here in the U.S.
Yeah, without a doubt. Back to the strength of our founders, the number one response on any social media platform is, when are you coming to fill in the country. Okay. And
what a
we
great
hear that
feeling.
a lot. Yeah. And so we see that, we read that, we know the level of influence each of our founders have in every country across the world. And it's significant. So we did just launch in Canada. We launched it about a month and a half ago on Amazon and Costco. And we're going to be in general market in Canada throughout next year. What did that require? A slight tweak to our formula. But not much. The efficacy, the taste, the flavors are still all there. We've got we have to find manufacturing facility in Canada, which we did. So it's made in Canada. So there's a level of complexity of things that you have to do to go into a new country. But Canada is our first foray, and without a doubt, we've got plans to continue that. We'll be in more than 2 countries next year.
A lot going in the world right now as we sit here in December of 2022, inflation, supply chain. How are you trying to position the company to be able to withstand what, hopefully is a transient time, short-term challenges?
Yeah, no, that's presenting every company. Our competitors, the Coke and Pepsis of the world, the Red Bulls, Monster, they've taken price, to be able to keep up with their margin. We have not taken price, and quite honestly, don't plan on doing that in the foreseeable future. Our growth has enabled us to simply mitigate any outward inflationary environment with efficiency that comes with scale. We're simply buying a lot more cans right now than we did a year ago. Well, with that, guess what? You get a better price. So the logistics side of it as well. We've got 4 manufacturing facilities in the United States right now. Last year we had 1, then 2. Okay, well now our logistics costs just dropped. And so as we're scaling, as we're growing, the cost mitigation is keeping up with, if not getting better, even in an inflationary environment.
I had one last question for you, Mike. Have you had a mentor along the way that really kind of helped you, affected your career?
Great question. I've had a number of them. I would say my dad being one. That was a very big influential mentor for me. And then, I would say I was lucky enough to have a couple great mentors. One of them, the ex-CEO of Nestle Waters, Kim Jeffrey, who is still to this day a dear friend and was just a fantastic and continues to be a great mentor of mine.
I have to tell you, ZOA is one of the most unique business stories I've seen in a while. It's a great brand with an amazing founder group, and I can vouch for the product. It tastes great and definitely delivers the boost you need. And when you think about it, ZOA's success is really just in the first inning. They've already experienced formidable success, and they have a huge and growing market to go after. From here on in, it's really just about execution, and they have the team to do it. At Welcome to the Arena, we're working really hard to bring you exciting guests and great content. If you found this episode insightful, subscribe to the show on your podcast app and leave us a 5-star rating. The more the show grows, the more interesting voices we can have on the podcast, and in turn, that should demystify a lot of the stakeholders around public companies and soon-to-be public companies. Thanks for listening. I want to thank Mike Pengue for sharing the ZOA story. The company's really exciting. Cannot wait to see what they're doing next year. This is Tom Ryan. We'll see you next time back in the arena.
References to specific stocks are not intended to be recommendations for specific trading behavior. Comments presented on this podcast are intended for informational and educational purposes only, and do not represent opinions or recommendations on whether to buy, sell, or hold shares of a particular stock. All investors are advised to conduct their own independent research into individual stocks before making a trading decision. In addition, investors are advised that past stock performance is no guarantee of future price performance.